section of the press conference. The second section is embargoed until Saturday at 10:30. Joe, do you want to start?
Oh, I'll let Ken. Hi,
Eric.
Hi.
The re-emergence of Casemiro must be very important to you after his injury problems. I wonder how important that is to you, the significance it could have for the rest of the season. And the second part of my question would relate to the influence he would have long-term on Kobe Mainoo and his development.
Yeah, you can see it. We missed, for over a long period, very important players like Casemiro, like Martinez, like Luke Shaw, also others. We discussed that often, but you see the impact from a player when he's there, like Casemiro. He gives you calmness and composure on the ball. He gives you options. He does see the vertical pass. So he's always a step ahead of his opponent, and that break lines. And then we talked just about the offensive and what they need, how they have to serve. But then Casemiro is a very important player for our game. So happy he's back. And for Kobe Mainoo, and you can learn a lot from it. And that togetherness, that bound. Also, Kobe is very coachable, and Casemiro has so much experience, and Kobe will learn a lot from it, and that can even accelerate his development. So happy to have him, and when they can play together, I think they can take benefit from each other.
Just to follow on from that, does Casemiro perhaps talk to Kobe? I mean, do you see them chatting? Is there a relationship there? Does Kobe will clearly look up to him? I mean, do you feel that there's a bond perhaps developing there?
Absolutely, and Kasse, he takes also that responsibility. He takes him, to him. He's talking to him. I see it in the dressing room. I see it on the pitch, on the training, also in games. He is, of course, he's looking at his own game, but he's trying to help and to support Kobe Mainoo.
Hi, Eric. You've spoken about the Premier League's financial rules and spending rules a few times recently. It's clear how important Champions League revenue next season is to your transfer budget, I guess, in the summer. Does that make it more important, beyond just the footballing reasons, to get top four? Is there a danger that if you miss out, it kind of sets this project back years because of the financial knock-on effect going into the summer?
Yeah, it's very important to play Champions League. that is clear. So we don't have to discuss this. And what is exactly the impact, that is what in this moment I don't know. But of course you have financial, you have more power when you're achieving the Champions League. And so that is all our target, absolutely.
Simon.
Hi, Eric. Usually when a Manchester United manager has introduced young players to the team, Alex Ferguson, for example, he was bringing them into a successful team, a team that was winning Premier Leagues, a team that was packed with experienced players. Do you have to be more courageous as a manager to put your faith in young players when the team maybe isn't performing so well on the pitch?
It's more easy to integrate young talent into a successful team. That's true. And so the conditions where we had to bring Kobe Mainoo in that moment was not so. It was not really that on forehand that will be a success. I had that confidence because I saw him performing. I saw him performing in autumn. I saw him progressing in spring and in summer. I had that game from Arsenal in my mind, so I didn't have any doubt. But when he's coming in the team, he has to do it. Many things he has to do on his own, because when there are a lot of routines in the team, it's much more easier to come in. That's true. But we are not in that situation. I think this club is already not in that situation for a long time. And so for many years, Manchester United is not in that position. And so we are now building a team what is can really offer a foundation for players to come in, and we built a foundation that we really can add quality players into a squad that bring the team to next levels.
Do you also have to be careful as manager not to overplay them? That there will be occasions where you have to bring them in and out of the team.
Yeah, but there's also that is what I did. For instance, I brought them out on Sunday because it was the third day of the second game in nearly 3 days. I brought them out against Nottingham Forest. I think that was the third game in a week, and yeah, I have to protect the player because first he has to get used to the Premier League intensity, and then he has to get used to do it every third day. And yeah, you can't train this. You can't train this in training. It's impossible. Or you can't train this in games from under 21. And you can only train this in the Premier League or Champions League, and when you have to perform every third day, and then you have to make considerations. It's about the team result, but also about protecting players that they don't get injured. And yeah, Kobe was twice injured, so we don't want to come into that situation again, because that stops his progress.
Last question, Will.
Hi, Eric. Keeping it on sort of youth. Garnacho's been playing on the right more often recently. How open was he to playing there, and what do you think he brings to that role? And also, speaking of mentoring, what can you learn from what Marcus Rashford has done on the left-hand side, which is obviously the opposite side to his normal one?
What is the second part of your question?
What can you learn from Marcus Rashford, who plays as a left winger but who is right-footed, whereas Garnacho is left-footed but playing on the right at the moment? What can you learn from him?
Garnacho is right-footed. He can also. He's very good with left, but he's so functional. He's right.
And in terms of the first one, what's he bringing to the role on the right? Is it that's obviously having an effect with his goals and more in the team?
So Alejandro, natural. He prefers to play on the left as well, but now he finds his position on the right as well, and which he's doing very good, and also quite fluid. He finds his spaces there. But yeah, he can do both, and which is great. But that is not every player has those ability, and some they really have a preference, and that is what is great on the game of Alejandro Garnacho, that he is a player who can be fluid and can play both positions, and even in inside positions, he feels very comfortable, and he can have a big impact on our game and on the end product.